I love downtown Canton, and I really like that they're getting more, I don't know how to say this, millennial-friendly businesses going. Not that the old classics weren't doing the trick, but there are a lot of funeral homes in Canton. A lot. So we're going to liven this up. First up, out from Wadsworth, we have a wife, a mom, a cat owner, a lovely person who could be found at festivals and comedy clubs all over the state. Please join me in welcoming Kelly Thewlis.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Hi. It's so good to be here. This is awesome. Guys, though, when I thought about my future and where I thought I'd be, I just always knew I was going to make it into the 1%, I just thought that 1% would be referring to my income level and not the 1% of women to get pregnant with an IUD in. So for those of you who don't know, or for those of you who do know but you can't think straight because you're just silently panicking, the IUD, it's currently the most reliable form of birth control on the market. My doctor actually told me it is more likely for you to get pregnant once your tubes have been tied than for you to get pregnant with an IUD in. Yeah. So when my doctor was like, do you want to know the gender or do you want to be surprised? I was like, I've had enough surprises. Thank you. I decided to go through with the pregnancy. That was my choice. It was a good choice for me because I had a supportive community, a supportive partner, supportive parents, and really nothing else better to do with my life. So it was a good choice for me. It resulted in my what is now a 4-year-old daughter. So thank you. Keeping her alive for 4 years. So a little bit of an old story, and if you were looking at me being like, oh yeah, I see the baby bump. No, you didn't. And ouch. I have a 4-year-old daughter. I also have a 1-year-old daughter. I found out I was pregnant with her in also kind of an unusual way, but not nearly as shocking. For one thing, I wasn't actively trying to prevent her. That's for starters. I was actually trying. I was trying to have another kid. Me and my husband, we were trying for a while, and nothing was happening. And we just kind of thought, all right, well, that's it. We're one and done. That's okay. We're all right with that. And then I got really sick. But not like morning sickness sick, like just a different kind of sick. And so I went to the doctor, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. And she's like, it's clear. You are a celiac. You have celiac disease. And I said, well, what's that? And she's like, like cookies and cake and pasta and everything that brings you joy. You're done. Done with that. No more. You're on a gluten-free diet. Anybody else on a gluten-free diet? Yeah? You hate life too. Awesome. Yeah. It's a tough diet. It's such a tough diet to be on. And I did okay with it for a while. But my family were Italian, but not like real Italian, like never-ending breadsticks kind of Italian. And food is a big part of our culture. And so I tried my best for a while, and then eventually I was like, you know what? I've been good. I'm gonna live a little. I'm gonna have a little bread. I know I'm gonna probably be sick tomorrow morning, but I'm gonna do it. And I did it. And the next morning, oh my God, you guys, TMI, but I woke up and I had to run to the bathroom because I felt like my boobs were bigger. I don't know if you guys know anything about celiac disease. Bigger boobs after eating bread is not a side effect. If it were, do you know how much bread I would have eaten in college or in high school? High school, just in case it gave you bigger boobs. I probably like about the same amount that I actually ate. I love bread so much. But yeah, no, I'm still not sure if I have celiac disease, but I definitely had pregnancy disease. I love my children so much, and having kids, it has been the biggest joy in my life. But I do have my darker parenting moments. I do. I struggle sometimes. And when I have these darker parenting moments, I like to turn for inspiration to the Virgin Mary. to raise the Son of God in a time before iPads. I have no idea how she did that. I don't know. Because kids ask crazy things. They ask crazy things at random. Like, I was folding laundry, and my 4-year-old came in, and she goes, "Hey, Mom, how do we make glass?" I was like, glass? I don't know how we make glass. Tell your dad to throw some glass blowing videos up on the iPad. That's the best I can do at explaining. Can you imagine Virgin Mary just like folding swaddling clothes or whatever they wore back then? In comes little child Jesus being like, "Hey, Mom, how do we make existence?" I don't know. Go ask your father. I'm not looking forward to having the sex talk with my kids. I'm a long ways away from it, but I'm already thinking about it because I'm not looking forward to it. But can you imagine how awkward having the sex talk must have been for the Virgin Mary? Just sitting Jesus down and being like, "Now, son, I want to talk to you about how babies are made. Do you know? Because I don't know. Do you?" I'm still confused. I don't know. Kids, they find things that are dangerous. Like, I have never put my child in a place that I think is dangerous, but they find things. They find things to hurt themselves with. It's insane. I sat my 1-year-old down on her little squishy alphabet play mat, right, in the living room. Totally safe. I walked into the kitchen just to put a dish in the sink. I come back. She's got all this white, powdery but foamy stuff all over her face. She looks like a little cokehead with rabies. Turns out, I had left my purse on the coffee table. She got into it, unzipped it, took my deodorant out, took the lid off, and just took a big old chomp out of my deodorant. So quick call to poison control. It turns out you can eat deodorant. It is safe. It is not going to give you what you need, and I don't recommend it. But if you're in a FedEx, or if you're in a castaway situation with a FedEx box full of debris, you might be okay. You could do it. I switched ever since then. I now use a natural deodorant. It's like a cucumber-based deodorant. That way I figure if this ever happens again, at least she's getting a vegetable. I mean, my life has changed so much. You can always tell your life has changed as a woman by looking in the contents of your purse, right? I mean, yeah, my purse used to just be full of condom wrappers and bar receipts. Now it's just full of Pampers coupons and bar receipts. I'm obviously kidding. We weren't using condoms. My baby thinks she survived the IUD and a condom? I'd be ambitious. I have a day job. I recently had it's a corporate day job, so I like to do things like annual reviews. And I recently had mine, and they asked me, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What's your 5-year plan?" Guys, after the last 3 years we've had, who can answer that? Who has any idea after the last 3 years we've had where they'll be in 5 years? I have no idea. Who back in 2020 was like, "All right, my 5-year plan, starting with year 1, I'm going to wear masks, Lysol bananas, and watch Tiger King while everyone stays inside." Who had that on their plan? I had no idea that was coming. Guys, 5 years ago, I had an IUD. I have no idea. No, I can't plan the next 5 days, let alone the next 5 years. I work as a copywriter, so this is a particularly ridiculous question for me. I'm a copywriter. You know what I did not see coming? ChatGPT. I get asked almost every day by people, "So, do you think bots and artificial intelligence is going to take over your job?" I'm like, yeah, I don't care. You know what? That's fine. Let it take my job. I don't care. Let artificial intelligence take my job. I don't care, because I know I will always have comedy to fall back on. I will. Because bots and artificial intelligence, they will never, ever take my place because they have too much self-respect. It is right there in the name, you guys, artificial intelligence. Nobody pursuing comedy is smart, okay? Neither bot nor human. We are not smart. Most of the time I get paid in like French fries and beer. Like, this is not a smart plan. Pre-pandemic, I worked at a architect firm, and I was supposed to actually, like the week the world shut down, I was supposed to be performing at a comedy festival in Boston. Not the comedy festival in Boston, to be clear, just a comedy festival in Boston. And I was working at this architect firm, and one of the architects was like, wow, they must be paying you a lot to fly all the way to Boston to perform. And I was like, oh, no, they're not paying me. I paid them, actually. I paid them a submission fee to get on their festival to actually then not perform at all because the world shut down. Not smart. This is not smart. My kids are in daycare, and I don't feel great about that. I don't. I have a lot of mom guilt about my kids being in daycare. It was especially hard during the pandemic. It really was, because having to drop my kid off at school and be like, okay, have fun today. Don't come home with any diseases. No parent should have to say that. Not till they're in college. It was tough. I want them to live their best life. I really do. I want them to do amazing things. I want them to, like go to college if they want or not. I want them to live their dreams. I want them to shatter glass ceilings the same way they shattered my pelvic floor. I recently got a pessary. Do a quick Kegel if you know what that is, ladies. So when my babies were born, I was diagnosed with pelvic organ prolapse, which means my babies came out and then my organ said, oh, that's an option? We can just go. All right, let's go. So I got fitted for a pessary. It's a little like silicone disc that I put up there to hold my pelvic floor from going to the floor. And my doctor, when I first got it, she was just like, okay, so tie some dental floss around it. So that way, as you're getting used to taking it in and out, it's just going to be as simple as pulling out a tampon. So lovely. You guys are totally relatable to you guys, huh? I went home and I tied dental floss around it. I used what I had, not thinking about it being flavored floss. Cinnamon, sir. Cinnamon. I was just minding my own business, and all of a sudden I felt the burn. I was walking around going, oh my God, okay. And my husband's like, oh my God, what's wrong? What's wrong? Is this a UTI? And I was like, it's the dental floss in my underpants. And he was like, is this a TikTok challenge? And I was like, no, it's a motherhood challenge, which means you did this to me. You guys have been an absolutely wonderful audience. Thank you all so much.
Keep it going for Kelly Thewlis, everybody.